710 ESPN Seattle presents
The Calabro Show warm-up, powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
Welcome, everybody. This is the warm-up. Notice the greenery behind us. We are here in the Emerald City in Seattle, Washington. It has not started raining yet, but it's only a matter of time before it will start, and it will stay for the next 7 months. So be warned, you don't want to move here if you're watching on the internet. We'll be right back with more sunny notes from Seattle. All right, welcome back to Seattle, Washington. Dave Grosby today, who precedes us on the program, laid some wisdom on the radio.
Grosby did?
He did. You know, they obviously down there at Seahawks Central can't tell you they're in a rebuilding mode, but they are, and so this is the mark of a rebuilding team. An offensive line with absolutely no experience, a quarterback who has not yet gotten the whole playbook because he doesn't have the whole team assembled. That all adds up to bad, and worse. I love the fact that the press conference today, Pete Carroll admitted to watching Barkley and Luck. Nobody stepped up, though, and asked him if he was on the Suck for Luck campaign.
No, but Doug Farrar asked him the question about Barkley, and then he followed up with Andrew Luck. And
Matt Barkley,
those are questions that most of us are sitting there wanting to ask, so good for him for asking.
Yeah, and it got a good response.
It did get a good response. It got better than, I figured that Pete would say, hey, you know what, I'm too busy here trying to work with my team.
I wish he had.
At these guys. But he's just like, and then Peter King, did you hear him this morning with Brock and Salk?
No.
I think Brock asked him, if you're a Seahawks fan, Peter, what would you tell them, as to what to look for during the games while you're watching? And Peter King goes, well, he goes, to be honest with you, I'd be watching games on Saturday more than I would the ones on Sunday.
Well.
So, yeah, everybody's kind of getting into that mode of Barkley, Luck, your guy, Landry Jones. Who am I missing? Those are the three main ones, right?
I think so.
So
Kellen Moore.
Well, Kellen Moore. Yeah.
Marshall Lobosol, too.
Marshall Lobosol, that's
Jeff
right.
Toole.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Jeff Toole, he'll be available.
No, he won't be available. And some free agent to be known later. Or it could be Tavares Jackson. It could be Charlie Whitehurst.
Now, wait, you're going to be positive about the Seahawks' chances on Sunday, though, aren't you? I mean, the way you're leading off the warm-up, it sounds like maybe you're
I'll tell you what, I got up at 5 o'clock this morning. One of those deals. As you get older, you get up early for no apparent reason. Believe me, I would love to sleep in to noon like the rest of our staff does. But I can't. So I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and what do? I watch the Don Imus show, and Imus is becoming an octogenarian before my eyes. This is a guy who I used to listen to when I was a teenager, and he's still doing a talk show, and I'm thinking, God, I don't want to be Imus when I'm 80 years old. I don't want to be doing some show on CNBC, babbling on incoherently while his sycophants laugh at him. I'm going, what are you laughing at? And they had Warner Wolf doing sports updates, and I thought, my God, that's the last thing I want to do when I'm 75 years old. Anyway, that's a sidetrack. So I was
trying to figure out.
So I watch Imus for all of like 10 minutes, and I make all these snap judgments about him and his age and the profession, and I should be so lucky to be that successful. But then I immediately start watching the Seahawks tape. And I watch the Seahawks tape for about an hour and a half. And I'm watching this tape. And I come to the conclusion that, just as you did, they may win 3 games. They may win 3 games. And this may be the game this weekend. But I'm watching, to get more to the point, I'm watching Browner just get toasted. Brown kicking his butt. Who's the other kid?
Mike Wallace.
Mike Wallace had a sensational game. And I know Pete doesn't want his guys to be individualized. He wants to stand up for his guys. But he gave some pretty lame excuses for those 2 plays. Getting beat on the Wallace play where he thought the quarterback had been sacked. The interference where it actually was better that he interfered rather than giving up the touchdown. It was better to give him the ball at the 1 than making a good play in the end zone and tipping the ball away. He interferes because he's got his head turned. And then to say that the national group was being, I guess, a little overly.
Well, you mentioned today in the press conference
judgmental about
TV
Browner.
broadcast afterwards.
I watched that this morning. I didn't think they were going overboard anyway. I thought it was a huge story. This guy was getting baked out there. 6'4". I know. At one point, I thought, boy, I'd love to have Kelly Jennings back. Well, that's the warm up. We'll see you at 3.